Welcome to all of you. Today we'll discuss on the topic adsorption and absorption. And the topics that will be discussed are difference between absorption and adsorption, types of adsorption, factors affecting adsorption, adsorption isotherm, adsorption isobar, application of adsorption, thermodynamics behind adsorption. These are the important points will be discussed lesson. Then let us discuss what is the difference between absorption and adsorption. Absorption, it is the phenomenon in which the particles of gas or liquid get uniformly distributed over the solid surface. Uniformly distributed, that is called absorption. And adsorption, just it is opposite. Here the concentration of particles of gas and liquids are more on the surface of solid. That means the surface of solid contain more particles. Here the particles are uniformly distributed. This is the main difference between absorption and adsorption. The concentration is same throughout the material. That means over the particles, the gas particles or liquid particles are uniformly distributed. That's why concentration is same. Here the concentration, that means the amount of particles are more on the surface than the bulk. Absorption occurs at a uniform rate. It occurs uniformly throughout the surface, and the bulk it is uniformly distributed and the rate is uniformly. But adsorption in the first stage it is rapid, then it is become slow. But the beginning it is very fast. Adsorption is very fast in the beginning. Then for examples, calcium chloride absorbs water. Water particles will be absorbed on the calcium chloride, and water absorbs ammonia. But here silica gel absorbs water, charcoal absorbs ammonia. Here charcoal absorbs ammonia, but silica gel absorbs water. This is the difference between absorption and adsorption. Which absorption means throughout the body, surface and inner, both sides will be distributed, but in adsorption only surface. So silica gel absorbs water on the surface, charcoal absorbs ammonia on the surface. Then for this you see this figure. Here the particles are uniformly distributed throughout the solid surface, but here only on the surface. Here throughout the body, that means inner and outer both sides the particles are distributed. Here only are the surface. At the surface means it is called surface phenomenon, and here it is called bulk phenomenon, means inner also. Inner occupied means it is absorption, but surface occupied means it is adsorption. And when both occurs, when absorption and adsorption occur both, that is called sorption. It is called sorption. Then types of adsorption. Adsorption can be classified on the basis of interaction between adsorbate and adsorbents. What are adsorbates? Adsorbates, the particles which are on the surface, that is called adsorbate, and the surface which adsorbs the particles, that is called adsorbent. Means adsorbent is the medium and the particles which are adsorbed are called adsorbate. So that means gas is adsorbent and solid is adsorbent. So on the basis of interaction between these two, the types of adsorption are two types, that is physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. Physical means very common, the word physical way, no chemical bond is formed. So physical absorption, the force between adsorbent and adsorbent are van der Waals force, very weak force exists between this. But in chemical absorption, the force is true chemical bond between the bet and bent. So it is a chemical bonding, it is the van der Waals force, and it is specific in nature, but it is not specific. Physical absorption is not specific, but chemical absorption is specific, because a particular particle will be chemically adsorbed on the surface. That's why it is specific, it is not specific. It is reversible, you can remove the adsorbent from the surface, again also accumulate on the surface, but it is irreversible. Irreversible means once it is removed means it cannot be again reabsorbed. That's why it is called irreversible. And the physical adsorption depends on the nature of gas. It depends upon nature of a gas. More easily liquefied gases are absorbed. It is also observed, it is experimentally observed, the gas which has a high critical temperature absorbs more. But here it depends upon the nature of a gas and nature of adsorbent, both depends. And here the amount of heat produced during adsorption is very low, that is called enthalpy of adsorption or heat of adsorption. Here of heat of adsorption is much more. How much? 80 to 240 kilojoule. Here is 20 to 40 kilojoule. Less, here more, because attraction is less, that's a low and heat of adsorption. Here attraction is more, that's a high heat of adsorption. And the low temperature is favorable. Here high temperature is favorable in the beginning, then with high temperature it become low, it become decreases. So here temperature always low, here initially temperature is high, then by increase in temperature it will be decrease. And no appreciable activation energy needed. Here no activation energy required because it is physical change. But here high activation energy is sometimes needed. High energy is required to activate the adsorbents over the surface of adsorbent. That's why high activation energy is needed. Now, and a physical absorption, it depends upon surface area. And if surface area is more, then adsorption is more. And here it also depends upon surface area. If surface area is more, adsorption is also more. And physical absorption is multimolecular. Multimolecular means one layer over another layers are formed on the surface of adsorbents. But chemical absorption is always what? Unimolecular. Chemical absorption is unimolecular, but physical absorption is multimolecular. This is very important difference between absorption, physical absorption and chemical absorption. Physical absorption is also called as physisorption, and chemical absorption is also called as chemical adsorption or chemisorption. These are the very important difference between physical absorption and chemical absorption. Okay, then what are the factors affecting adsorption? How you can increase or decrease rate of adsorption? Let us discuss. The rate of adsorption is also called as extent of adsorption. First is nature of adsorbent. That means generally we are considering the gas molecules are the adsorbent and the solid molecules are adsorbent. So nature of adsorbent. Nature of adsorbent means if the gas has high critical temperature, then the rate of adsorption is high. Rate of adsorption will be faster. That's why high critical temperature of gases are adsorbed more. Examples, ammonia is better than hydrogen. If you see the rate of adsorption of ammonia and hydrogen, ammonia will be adsorbed more on the particular surface of adsorbent compared to hydrogen, because ammonia has high critical temperature. We know high critical temperature means easily liquefied. That's why high critical temperature of gases are adsorbed more than the low critical temperature of gases. Then nature of adsorbent. Nature of adsorbent means if adsorbent is more activated, then the rate of adsorption is more. So activated charcoal is better adsorbent compared to non-activated charcoal. That's why adsorbent should be activated before adsorption. Surface area of adsorbent. If surface area is more, then adsorption will be more. That means if the surface will be divided into powder form, then rate of adsorption will be more. If you divide the surface into finer particles, surface area will be increased. That's why more surface area, more adsorption. Then temperature. We know temperature decreases physical adsorption, because when we increase the temperature, the adsorbate molecule removed from the surface of adsorption, it is called desorption. The removal of adsorbate from the surface of adsorbent is called desorption. By increasing temperature, the physical adsorption decreases. But in case of chemical adsorption, fast increase in temperature will activate the absorbents and also adsorbate. That's why rate of adsorption will be more from the beginning. Then rate of adsorption decreases with increasing temperature. This is very important difference between physical adsorption and chemical adsorption with effect of temperature. And effect of pressure, we know effect of pressure is always directly proportional to the rate of adsorption. Rate of adsorption, extent of adsorption is always directly proportional to pressure. Mainly physical adsorption. If you increase the pressure, then what happens? The particles will be adsorbed on the surface of adsorbent easily due to pressure. It will be more close contact. That's why due to close contact, it will be easily adsorbed. So by increasing pressure, rate of adsorption increases. Then activation energy, already we have discussed. Activation energy, mainly if adsorption is chemical nature, then high activation energy will favor the rate of adsorption. So high activation energy will be favorable for the what happens? The rate of adsorption. So this is about the factors affecting rate of adsorption. Then next one, that is adsorption isotherm. Adsorption isotherm means when the temperature is constant, then how the rate of adsorption depends upon the pressure. You see, this is the two graphs that it is called Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Freundlich adsorption isotherm, where it is a graph between rate of adsorption and pressure. X by m means rate of adsorption, that is extent of adsorption and pressure. And it is observed that at low pressure, when the pressure is very low, then the rate on increasing pressure, the rate of adsorption increases very fastly. Then at the middle, the rate of adsorption becomes, rate of increasing value is very less. But at a high pressure, just you see at the highest point, the rate of adsorption almost equal. The graph is become parallel. That's why each graph at each temperature, this is a constant temperature, it is a constant, this is three graphs, these are the three graphs, three temperature, the rate of adsorption, pressure versus pressure is measured. And you see at a very high pressure, the graph is parallel. That means the rate of adsorption is not increasing, remaining constant. That means at very high pressure, the rate of adsorption remain constant. But at a low pressure, the very low pressure, rate of adsorption increases very fast with increasing pressure. But at the moderate pressure, the rate of adsorption is increasing value is very less. So this is the graphical representation of, graphical expression of rate of adsorption and pressure at constant temperature. It is also observed one other thing. This is 195 degree Kelvin, here is 244 Kelvin, this is 273 Kelvin. But here you see, by increasing temperature, 195, 244, 273. By increasing pressure, you see rate of absorption, you see at low temperature, rate of absorption is very high. At same pressure, with increasing temperature, rate of absorption decreases. This is the very important difference between the pressure and temperature with the extent of absorption. So, and here you see, from the graph it is observed that the rate of absorption is directly proportional to pressure at a low pressure. When the pressure is very low, then the rate of absorption is directly proportional to pressure. You see the graph increasing very sharply. But when the pressure is very high, at this point, when the pressure is very high, from 0 to here, when the pressure is very high, the rate of absorption is almost constant. That means pressure has no effect. That is P to the power 0. That is pressure has no effect on the rate of absorption. That's why X by M is directly proportional to P to the power 0. P to the 0 means constant. That's why X by M is equal to K into P to the power 1 by N. Why it is written? It is the moderate pressure. Low, neither low nor high. For at the moderate pressure, it is this expression is derived by Freundlich. Freundlich derived this expression X by M is equal to K P to the power 1 by N. When N is very high, because at a very high pressure, then 1 by N will be 0 because N will be infinitive. So 1 by N will be 0. That means this X by M will be constant. This is the expression of Freundlich adjacent isotherm, normal expression of X by M versus P. If you multiply log, then value will be log X by M is equal to log K plus 1 by N log P. This is the derivation, and this log X by M log K, it is the equation just like Y is equal to mx plus C. This is a straight line equation. Y is equal to M, you see mx plus C. If you draw the graph log X by M in Y axis and log P in the X axis, the graph will be a straight line, but it is start from above the origin because log K value will be start here. This is log K, which is the intercept. This is the intercept because Y is equal to mx plus C. That's why this graph will start from above the origin, and the slope of the graph is 1 by N. 1 by N. This is the slope graph. This is the expression of Freundlich adjacent isotherm. This is the graphical representation of logarithm form, and in the normal form, that is X by M is equal to K P to the power 1 by N. So the very important expression of the relation between extent of absorption and pressure at constant temperature. Okay. Then adsorption isobar. Adsorption isobar means this is the relation between rate of adsorption, extent of adsorption with temperature at constant pressure. That's why it's called isobar. Pressure is constant. Here it is observed that when temperature increases, the rate of adsorption decreases. You see the graph. If you rate a parabolic graph, if it decreases means disruption takes place. This is called disruption. This graph is called disruption. That means adsorbates are removed from the surface. So graph is, you see the value is decreasing when increasing temperature. But in case of chemical absorption, this is the physical absorption. In case of chemical absorption, just to observe, first the extent of absorption increases up to a certain limit. This is the limit, then decreases. First increasing temperature will activate the adsorbate and adsorbents. Then at increasing temperature, then disruption. This is the disruption, this is the adsorption. This is the adsorption side, this is the disruption side. So this is the very important difference between physical absorption, chemical absorption, and the graph versus extent of adsorption, temperature, extent of adsorption, temperature, both at constant pressure. Physical absorption and chemical absorption. Very important expression. This expression, this graph is called adsorption isobar. Okay. Then next, application of absorption, very important in surface chemistry. The very important part is application, because we are using this concept in our day-to-day life in every field, in every branch of chemistry, every branch of science. We are also using the application of adsorption. What are the applications? Let us discuss. What are the application? Air pollution mask. We are using the mask. We have seen in the different metropolitan who had polluted cities, we are using the mask because the mask contains silica gel and activated charcoal which adjusts the poisonous gases. That's why it controls the pollution. Then separation of noble gases. The argon, neon, krypton and other gases can be separated using the coconut charcoal. If you use charcoal, then it absorbs the selected gases. Argon, krypton substance will be absorbed and leaving behind neon. Neon will be left, but argon and krypton will be absorbed because these are the large surface area, argon and krypton, so easily absorbed. Because their boiling point is more, their critical temperature is more, so easily absorbed. That's why it can be easily separated. Then removal of moisture and which one? Removal of moisture and humidity from the room. If we fit the particular good quality adsorbent, then it will absorb the moisture inside the room so that the humidity and moisture can be controlled using adsorbent. Then adsorption chromatography. This technique is very important. That the pigments and different color pigments and on a hormone can be adsorbed. They can be separated in different chromatographic techniques. So we can separate the different pigments by using adsorption chromatography. These are column chromatography, paper chromatography, like this. So many thin layer chromatography we are using in chromatography to separate the different components in the mixture. Then ion exchange method. By ion exchange method also we can remove the hardness of water. We know hard water contain calcium ion and magnesium ion. These ions will be adsorbed by the surface of the exchange resin. Ion exchange resin will adsorb the calcium ion, magnesium ion from the hard water, so that calcium ion, magnesium ion can be removed. Then in metallurgy also we are using the separate the different impurity from the ores by Froth flotation process. In the Froth flotation process, the sulfide ore can be separated from the impurity by using oil, suitable oil, that is pine oil, water and air. Mixture will be taken. When it will be kept in the particular chamber, when it will be using the rotator, using the circular disc, it will be spin, then the foams or froth produce containing sulfide ore. So it will be easily separated by these methods because it is separated in the form of froth. Froth is in the form of by adsorption, colloidal form it will be separated. Then by cure, this technique also using to cure the disease. Some drugs are used which adsorb the different microorganism so that it will be removed from the body, so that we can control the disease by using adsorption technique. Then heterogeneous catalysts also we are using. What are the heterogeneous catalysts used? We know iron used in the preparation of ammonia gas using nitrogen, hydrogen by Haber's process. We are using platinum metal in the preparation of sulfuric acid. So many. And we are using the nickel metal in the preparation of alkane from alkene. So these are called heterogeneous catalysts. In different catalytic reaction, we are using different solid adsorbent as a solid surface for the adsorption of the reactants. So these are the very important application of adsorption. What are the application? To control air pollution using mask, to separate noble gases, remove moisture, humidity from the room, separate the pigments using adsorption chromatography, separate calcium ion, magnesium from hard water by using ion exchange resin, and separate different elements, different impurity from the ores using metallurgy techniques, and curing disease using medicine, and using different solid catalyst to prepare different compounds. These are the some important application of adsorption techniques. Then what are the thermodynamics behind adsorption? What are the thermodynamics principle use in adsorption. Very important is we know adsorption process is always exothermic. You have to remember, very important, adsorption is always exothermic, where delta H is negative and delta S also negative. Both are negative because when the gas molecule will adsorb on the surface of adsorbent, the randomness decreases. That's why delta S entropy change is negative. As it is, as the adsorbates are adsorbed on the surface, so amount of heat released, that's why it is called exothermic. So it is exothermic process, delta S is negative and delta S is negative. Both are negative. And both are negative, but as the adsorption process is spontaneous, so del G must be negative. To get the del G negative, we have to use low temperature for the physical adsorption. For physical adsorption, temperature should be low. When the temperature will be low, then del G will be negative, because del G is equal to del H minus T del S. Del H is always negative, del H is always negative, and del S is negative means right side, minus del S is positive. So at low temperature, del H will be more negative. If it is more negative, del G will be more negative. You apply that formula, del G is equal to del H minus T del S. Then you can know del G will be negative when both these factor will be negative. So it's very important principles behind adsorption. Okay, this is about the principle of adsorption. Okay, very good. Thanks.